Hey there, Bryan VantHof here with RE/MAX Advantage Plus and Ramsey Trusted. Welcome to the first week of March. Today is Thursday, March 6th, 2025. We are just 2 weeks away from the start of spring here, so hopefully we will be seeing that nice spring weather, melting the snow very quickly, and we can really get to getting outdoors and seeing the grass grow and seeing the leaves grow on the tree here. But lots of things to cover here this week. We'll talk a lot about new construction actually this week. So once we get through kind of the preliminary stuff with the weekly stats, we can kind of talk about what it looks like to buy new construction, because the Parade of Homes is coming up, actually starts tomorrow. So, but let's talk first about the week that was for previously owned homes within that 50-mile radius of downtown Minneapolis in Minnesota. There were 879 new listings in the past 7 days. That's up 110 from the prior week and up 55 from the year before. Of the total additions to the market, 589 were single-family homes, 193 were townhomes, and 97 were condos. Just 126 of the new listings sold in the first week. That is significantly lower than last week's 206. We have 357 coming soon listings on the market right now. That's up 35 from where we were last week. The total available homes sits at 3,291. That is up 70 from last week, and 353 more than this time last year. Of the homes available, 1,746 are single-family homes. That's up 57 at a median listing price of $510,000, with days on the market of 43. We have 726 townhomes on the market at a median listing price of $306,000 and days on the market of 36. Days on the market has gone down for really every style of home here. So condos make up 819 of our available inventory, median listing price of $205,000 and days on the market of 98. 661 homes went from active to pending. That's up 35 in the past week. 696 went from pending to sold. That's up 322. This past week did include the last business day of February, which the last couple of business days of the month are always the busiest time of the month. So that's why we had so many more sold homes in the past week than what we had the week before. Mortgage rates remain relatively unchanged from last week, with 30-year conventional rates kind of hovering around that 6.75% range. FHA and VA rates sometimes are generally about 0.75% lower, but there are some other factors that go into FHA, and certainly with VA being only for veterans. Current rates are about 0.25% lower than last month, an eighth higher than 3 months ago, 5/8 higher than 6 months ago, which was really close to our 12-month lows, and about 1/4% higher than where we were at this time last year. Realtor scheduled 360 roughly more showings this week than they did the week before, for a total of about 13,700. Last year, total showings were above 15,000, about 11% higher than where we saw over the past 7 days. So we were busier last year, more showings scheduled on fewer listings. So it's kind of interesting. I talked last week about how busy the market had been or is, and it still is, but there's not quite as many buyers out yet as where we were last year. So that's where we're at on the kind of the week that was in real estate. Now let's talk about new construction. The Parade of Homes starts this weekend, where builders showcase their model homes. This year, there are 365 homes featured in the Parade of Homes guidebook. You can pick up that guidebook at different gas stations across the Twin Cities, I believe. Usually it's Holiday Station stores, but I'm not sure where actually they are this year. Prices of the homes in the parade range as high as $2.9 million. The Parade of Homes runs through April 6th. If you're thinking of buying a new construction home, there's more that goes into doing that. Nothing's ever an easy process when you're buying or selling real estate. But in reality, is sometimes new construction can be significantly more difficult for a variety of reasons that we'll talk about. Every year I hear of a buyer who walks in a new construction model and buys a home directly from the builder without having an independent realtor like myself representing them. And I kind of cringe, because they really don't know what they're getting into or know all the trade secrets that builders reps won't really tell you about, unless the buyer has already been through it a little bit or has a little bit of a clue as to what is truly going on. My first home was a new construction townhouse. My second home was a new construction single-family house. Both were purchased before I was a real estate agent, before I got into this 20 years ago. I didn't have a realtor representing me on the purchase of either one of those homes. And now looking back, I'm thinking, why did I do that? In knowing what I know now, I would have absolutely wanted an independent realtor by my side, helping me understand my options. Keep in mind that builders representatives, they represent the builder. They don't represent you. They say it when you go there. They represent the builder. They do not represent you in most cases. Sometimes there will be dual agency, but in most cases, they represent the builder. So whose interest are they looking out for, yours or the builder's? They want to give you good customer service. They want to be honest with you, but they are certainly not fully 100% representing you. I kind of use, as an example, when I was in my 20s, I look at this like buying a new car. When I was in my 20s, I really liked buying brand new cars. My first car out of college was a brand new car. I went to the dealership. They told me what the sticker price was. I accepted that as being the price I'd have to pay for the car. I just assumed it's brand new. They won't negotiate, so I have to pay the price that they tell me and what's on the sticker. Bad assumption. When I bought my second new car, I felt the same way. I still had the same perception that there was no room for negotiation on a brand new car, that I had to pay the MSRP, the sticker price on the vehicle. But then the salesman generously offered to take $1,000 off of the price of the car. I was willing to pay full sticker, but he gave me a little bit of a discount. I didn't know that I could actually negotiate on a brand new car off of the MSRP that was on the window. I did not know that. So for me, that was kind of a moment for me going, wait, so I can actually negotiate maybe a little bit on a new on a new car. I don't have to pay their sticker price. Sometimes there's a price we pay for things we don't know, unfortunately. So buying a new car, I didn't know that I could negotiate. So now I know. But and the same thing can be said about buying new construction. You don't know what you don't know, and maybe you don't know that you can negotiate on things. Now that I knew the sticker price wasn't necessarily the price they were willing to take, in addition to the potential of getting other incentives like lifetime car washes, extended warranties, free car detailing, etc. Like a builder, sometimes there's dealers that will take a discount or will negotiate, but there are some dealers that will not negotiate and will only take sticker price. So there's variability in autos, there's variability in new construction. But let's talk a little bit more about the new construction. When you are talking about building a house or buying a spec or buying a model or working with new construction, builders won't voluntarily offer incentives that if they know that you are willing to pay sticker price for that house. There are certain things that they'll throw out as carrots, but they won't give you all the incentives. They won't tell you all the incentives unless you ask, unless you know how this works, unless you know how to negotiate. The difference between buying a car and a house is that with buying a house, you are allowed to have an independent agent who knows the questions to ask of the builder and digs deeper into discovering the incentives that they might not want to talk about or advertise. I just had a conversation last week with a client who's selling a house that has been going directly to the builder to buy a house. When I talked to them about the things the builders told them, I heard a lot of things like a lot of them saying, I didn't know that. They didn't tell me that. Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that from the client. Unfortunately, because they had already engaged with the builder on numerous meetings, that stage the builder was not going to allow them to bring in an independent agent on their side and really wasn't going to allow them to do any more negotiations on the property. So they potentially missed out on things. I hope they still feel good about their purchase. But if you don't get an agent involved from the outset, the builder may not allow you to bring one in later. Some builders will negotiate and some builders won't. Some builders will even negotiate differently depending on the neighborhood, like Lennar is an example, the national builder. They might negotiate differently on their single-family homes compared to their townhomes. They might negotiate differently on homes in Corcoran compared to Woodbury. So it really ultimately depends on where you're at. So there's some trade secrets there. Moving on to, builders are experiencing some pain too right now. New construction isn't moving as fast as years past. According to the St. Paul Area Association of Realtor statistics, at the end of January, builders had 5.4 months of inventory available. Previously owned homes were at 1.3, so significantly more new construction homes on the market than previously owned homes. In 2024, builders also had 5.4 months of available inventory. 2023, they were at 5.9. 2022 was much lower at 3.6, and 2021 was even lower at 2.8. The past couple of years have just really not been kind to builder stock prices either. So if you know what you're doing and you're working with a good professional agent, you know that they're going to be a little bit more flexible on things. If you look at the stock prices of some of these national builders, they are down substantially. Lennar and D.R. Horton are both down 34% from their 52-week highs. There's an ETF out there, that exchange traded fund, U.S. home construction iShares, that's down 23% from its 52-week highs. Maybe that's a good buying opportunity if you're into the stock market. The price to earnings ratios on those builders is under 10. And if you compare that to the 24 that the 30 stocks in the Dow Jones Industrial Average have on average, might not be a bad purchase if you're a contrarian investor. If you're a buyer thinking about new construction, engage with me very early on in the process. It doesn't cost you any more money to do so, as the builders generally still pay the buyer's agent. You don't get a lower price because you don't have an agent. In fact, it could cost you more money by not having an agent by your side. So just something to consider. My promise to you is I will use my 20 years of experience in the real estate and new construction industry to help you negotiate and advocate for a better deal for you. I bought new construction myself. I've helped dozens and dozens of clients buy new construction all the way from pre-construction to models to specs. I work with many builders in the area, so I have familiarity with their homes, where they operate, how they operate. Just don't run the risk of feeling like you missed out on something or incentives you would have been entitled to. So I'd love to be the person who helps you build your net worth. Please reach out anytime. Whether you're buying or selling in 2025, I'm here to be your resource. It costs you nothing and can mean a lot more money in your pocket in the long run, less stress, and fewer unanswered questions. So hope you have a great weekend. Reach out anytime, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.